Hello all, I'm going to read for you the new document, the 9-page pamphlet issued by the Home Office for asylum consequences of behaviour, but it's for everybody who lives in the UK. Understanding behaviours and expectations in the UK. And to be clear, those who don't know, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and England make up the United Kingdom, which is the UK. Laws are different in Northern Ireland and Scotland. England and Wales have similar laws. So here we go, a guide for asylum seekers. Here's the contents. And I'll just read on. Living in the UK, you are in the United Kingdom, UK, because you are seeking asylum. We understand that coming to a new country can be difficult and that laws and customs here may be different from your home country. In the UK, there are laws that protect everyone's safety, dignity and rights. It is important that you understand them because not following UK law can have serious consequences. You could get into trouble with the police, lose your asylum support, or it could affect your asylum claim. This booklet will help you understand what is expected of you when living in the UK. These rules and expectations are not just for people seeking asylum, they apply to everyone living here. If you have questions about anything in this booklet, speak to staff at your accommodation or contact Migrant Helpline, obviously if you are a migrant. And the number is 0808 8010 503, or use their web chat here. You can also email Migrant Help here. If you or someone you know needs help because of abuse, violence or crime, there is a list of organisations that can support you at the end of this booklet. Gender equality. In the UK, men and women have equal rights. This is an important part of UK culture, as is protected by law. Women can work and earn their own money, study and go to school or university, travel freely, choose who they marry or choose not to marry. They can even marry another woman in this country. And men can marry another man. And it goes on to say women can make their own decisions about their lives. Women do not need permission from a husband, father, brother or any other male, but it says man, to do any of these things. Men and women are treated equally by the law, by employers, by schools and by services like hospitals and the police. It is against the law to treat someone unfairly because of their gender. What is expected of you? Everyone in the UK is expected to treat men and women equally. Even if you are a family member like a husband, father or brother, you must never stop a woman from working or studying. You must never control what a woman wears or where she goes. Excuse me. You must never stop a woman from seeing friends or family, and you must never make decisions for a woman without her agreement. What could happen if you do not follow these rules? Treating someone unfairly because of their gender can have serious consequences. If your behaviour is controlling or threatening, it may also be treated as domestic abuse, which is a crime. You could get into trouble with the police. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Lose your accommodation and support, and it could affect your asylum claim. There is more information about domestic abuse in the next section. Domestic abuse is when someone hurts, threatens or controls their partner or family member. It can happen to anyone, regardless of their gender, age or background. Domestic abuse includes physical violence, hitting, pushing, kicking or any physical harm. That even includes spitting. And, you know, if you touch someone without their consent, that's assault in this country. Threats, saying you will hurt someone or making them afraid. Controlling behaviour, controlling someone's money, like keeping all the bank cards and doing what you please with it. Where they go or who they can see. Emotional abuse, criticism, humiliation, or making someone feel worthless. Taking away documents, keeping someone's passport or identity documents from them. What is expected of you? You are expected to treat your partner and family with respect. You are expected to let them make their own choices. You are expected to never physically or verbally abuse or control them. Domestic abuse is a serious crime in the UK. If you do any of the behaviours in the list, which is emotional, mental and physical abuse in domestic abuse and violence, you could be arrested and go to prison, lose your accommodation and support, and it could affect your asylum claim. If you are experiencing domestic abuse, you do not have to stay with someone who hurts or controls you. Help is available, and you will be treated with dignity and respect. Reporting abuse will not negatively affect your asylum claim. There's domestic abuse helpline in England, Women's Aid Scotland, Live Fear Free helpline Wales, domestic abuse helpline Northern Ireland. In an emergency, always call 999. Now, myself, from previous experience, I would go with Women's Aid in whatever country. If you are worried about your own behaviour, you can get help. Migrant Help can refer you to specialist support, and there's a telephone number. Sex and consent. Consent means permission. Here it says consent means both people freely agree to sex or sexual contact. In the UK, the law is clear and strict. Both people must agree to sex or sexual contact of any kind. This means both people must say yes freely, without threat or pressure. Someone can change their mind at any time, even if they said yes before. That means if they said yes last time, or if they said 5 minutes previously, and suddenly they decide, actually I don't want to, for whatever reason, and you carry on, that's kind of like, that's not consenting. That's being forceful, and therefore, yeah, that's not right. If someone is asleep, drunk or unable to respond, they cannot consent. So yes, it can't be used as an excuse, okay? Consent is needed in every situation. This means even if you are married or in a relationship with someone, they must consent to sex every time. If they say no, or they don't want to, or stop, or please don't, that means don't do it. So consent is needed in every situation. If you have sex with someone without their consent, this is called rape. Rape is a serious crime in the UK. You could go to prison, lose your support and accommodation, and it will affect your asylum claim. What is expected of you? You are expected to always make sure the other person freely and clearly agrees to sex or sexual contact. Never use threat, force or pressure to make someone have sex. Never try to have sex with someone who is asleep, drunk or unable to consent clearly. Stop if they say no or change their mind. That is what is expected of you. The legal age of consent. The legal age of consent in the UK is 16 years old. This means that anyone under the age of 16 years old is considered a child and cannot legally agree to have sex. Sex with someone under the age of 16 is a serious crime in the UK. There are no exceptions to this rule. Even if they say yes, it is still illegal. You could go to prison, lose your support on accommodation, and it will affect your asylum claim. Yeah, and it's illegal to kiss anybody under the age of 13 as well, in a sexual way, and any other kind of activities in that nature with anyone under 13. But yeah, you're not allowed sex with anyone under 16, it's illegal. If this has happened to you, if you have experienced sexual abuse or assault, support is available. You will be treated with respect and dignity. Anyone or any age, well, you're supposed to be. Anyone or any age or gender can get help. The numbers for Rape Crisis England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland are available at the end of this booklet. You can report to the police by calling 999, which is the emergency number, not 101. Reporting will not negatively affect your asylum claim. In fact, if that's happened to you, you should ring 999 immediately and get DNA evidence. And yeah, the only thing with that is that it's your word against theirs. So yeah. But if it's recorded, that's, you know, that's good evidence. Respect in public. In the UK, people have different beliefs. I'm just saying that due to my own experiences. You know, I was born in the United Kingdom. So in the United Kingdom, people have different beliefs, religions, cultures and relationships and ways of life. You must treat others with respect, as you are expected to be treated with respect, and 9 times out of 10 you may be. I grew up in a very multicultural area, it doesn't say this in the booklet, and I treated others with respect, and that's what normal, you know, people expect, isn't it, to be treated with respect. So yeah, you must treat others with respect, even if you disagree with their beliefs or how they live. What is expected of you? When you are in public spaces, alone or with friends, you must never make sexual comments to someone, even if you think it is a compliment. You must never whistle or make kissing noises at someone. You must never follow someone or block their path. You must never make rude or offensive gestures. That means with your body, your hands, your arms, your face, your tongue, anything, your eyes as well. You must never verbally abuse someone because of their gender, religion or how they look. Taking photographs and videos. In the UK, we respect people's privacy. This means you should not take photographs or videos of someone without their consent, although it is not a criminal offence to film in a public place or space, depending on your reasons. In general, it isn't illegal. You know, there's cameras all over in the UK, and it's not illegal to film in a public place, building or space. But it is a serious crime to take sexual images of someone without their consent. And it is a serious crime to share sexual images of someone without their consent. And yeah, we don't in general go around filming children because that's like weird. If you do any of these things without consent, you know, of the people you are deliberately filming, so to speak, at a gathering or anything, if it's a public space, yeah. But if it's more private, yeah, you've got to ask for permission when it comes to children, really. If you do any of these things, you could be arrested and go to prison, lose your accommodation and support, and it could affect your asylum claim. Getting help. If you have questions about anything you have read in this booklet or want more information, speak to staff at your accommodation. If you think you may be a victim or know someone who is, help is available. Getting help or reporting a crime will not negatively affect your asylum claim. emergency contacts. So you've got emergency contacts to report a crime. You have 999, and you say whether you want the police, the fire brigade or the ambulance service for whichever different crime it is. If it's a traffic offence, apparently you only dial 999 if someone's injured. Police, non-emergency, 101, that's if it's not a big emergency right at that moment in time. NHS, urgent medical help, 111, who often, after quite a long waits, they go to A&E. A&E is accident emergency department at the local hospital, your nearest one. Asylum support, for independent advice and support specifically for asylum seekers who have the right to seek asylum. Migrant help number 080880100503 from any mobile or landline or phone box. Domestic abuse, if you are being hurt, threatened or controlled by a partner or family member, there is a email address, www.nationaldahelpline.org.uk. Domestic abuse helpline in England, Women's Aid Scotland, Live Fear Free helpline Wales, domestic abuse helpline Northern Ireland. I would go for Women's Aid on any country. That's from my own previous experience. That's what I can say. Women's Aid are great. Sexual abuse and rape. If you have experienced sexual violence or assault, it has a email address and 3 different rape crisis numbers. One's Northern Ireland, Scotland, England and Wales. And you have a forced marriage unit, and the number for that is 02070080151. 0 is still the same as saying O. So 020 is 020. Mental health. If you are struggling with your mental health and need someone to talk to, Samaritans 116123. And there again there's an email address, but you can go online and Google lots of different helplines here. And that is the 9-page booklet or pamphlet issued from the Home Office, and a lot of people are putting it down and not saying good things about it, but at least it's a step in the direction of outlining to people who may not be aware of laws, or they'll pretend they didn't know. They can't say they didn't know when it's in black and white, can they? So if they do these crimes now, possibly they will be deported. We'll have to wait and see, but this is still a step in the right direction in supporting victims somehow. That's my take on it. And the other one is, obviously, not all asylum seekers are going to be committing crimes, and also they have their human right to claim asylum. And yeah, thanks for listening. So there we have it, once again, living in the UK, understanding behaviours and expectations in the UK. Now you know it. If you didn't read it, you heard it, and you can't escape it. Bye.